Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure that notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, I have quite an exciting one because we are going to be testing a brand new palette from XXREVOLUTION. Just a quick side note, this video would have gone up a few days ago, but my order actually got lost on the Revolution system, so that's why it's going up a little bit late, but it did launch last Thursday night, which is when I actually placed my order. Luckily it come today, and I was like, I need to film these reviews ASAP and get them up for you. So we are testing this brand new green palette from XXREVOLUTION. It's called X-ENVY, and it's very similar packaging and design to their not mini palettes, this is not a mini palette, but they're smaller like pink and purple ones, whereas this one is more of a green theme. How funky is the packaging? It's like a holographic green, and this is what the colour story looks like. So it's not as green as I thought it was going to be. If you compare it to the pink and purple ones, which I have done videos on, they definitely are a little bit more monochrome than this. This one seems to have some purples and neutrals in here, as well as some blues, but I kind of expected the blues. But then it has these like reddy shimmers. I'm not really too sure. This one isn't as monochrome. However, very pretty palette. We're going to create a green look with this today. This palette retails for £20, so it's not like a cheap drugstore palette. It is a little bit more, but this is a big palette. I think you get £37 in here, so £20 for £37. And this palette is also cruelty free and vegan. So yeah, this is the palette we're going to be testing out today. I'm going to show you some swatches. The swatches are not going to be like how I normally do. I'm in like such a huge rush to film this video, so I'm probably just going to film the swatches on my phone and insert them, and then we can get into the eye look. Okay, so I've just hopped off camera and primed my eyelids. I used my Ultimate Eye Base from Revolution. This is such a good eye base. Firstly, I'm going to take this green here on the top row, and then I'm going to be putting that in my crease. Okay, there's a little bit of kickback in the pan, but this is what the first shade is looking like. It's super nice and pigmented. Next, I'm going to take this green here, and I'm going to blend that directly above where that green is. And then I'm going to take the green directly below it, which is one of the lightest greens. There is also this one here. They're pretty much like bang on really. Maybe that other one is a little bit lighter, but I'm going to take this one and I'm going to blend it just above where I put that other green. I had a little bit of fallout, but it really wasn't a lot. I just wiped it away and it's all gone. But this is what the blending is looking like. They are really nice and pigmented and blending really well as well. Next, I'm going to take, I think this is the darkest green in the palette, but I'm going to be taking this big pan here, and I'm going to be putting that either side of my lid, so in my inners and outer corners. Inners and outers. And I'm just going in with my original brush just to blend all that together. These are the two shimmers that I'm eyeing up. I think I might put this one on first and then maybe a touch of this greeny gold on top maybe. I'm literally just going to take it on my finger and just messily place it in the middle of my lid. That is such a beautiful green shimmer, but because it doesn't stand out as much, I am going to put a little bit of that gold just on top right in the centre, so the middle of it just pops a little bit more. Okay, that green gold was a little bit hardly pressed, but I did manage to put some on there, and I feel like it has really brightened up the middle of my lid. Next, for the lower lash line, I am going to use a brown, I think. So I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to put it all the way across. And then for my inner corners and brow bone, it's only right if I take this really light green shade here, which was next to that green gold we used. Okay, so that is that shade on the inner corners and brow bone. It definitely has a bit more of a chunky formula to it, I'd say. It's not like a smooth shimmer. It has like small shimmery particles in it, if that makes sense. However, it's absolutely stunning and beams so nicely in the inner corner. So this is my completed eye look with the X-ENVY palette. I'm going to quickly hop off camera and put my lashes, mascara and lips on, and then I can sit down and talk about my final thoughts. Right guys, so I'm back and this is my completed look. So for my lashes, I used my favourite Roxy and Revolution lashes. Absolutely love these. And my mascara is again the Collection Lash Third, again one of my favourite mascaras. It is really good. And then for my lips, I used a Colourpop lippy stick in the shade Candy Paint. I feel like green eye looks really go well with like a darker nude lip. So let me know what you think of this look. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. I know green eyeshadow isn't for everyone, but I personally really love it. So let's finally sit down and talk about the X-ENVY palette. So I personally was so excited when they announced that they'd be doing a green eyeshadow palette. Like, I love the purple one, I love the pink one. We needed like a blue one or a green one or a bluey green one. Like, we needed another colour that wasn't going to be neutral because XX seemed to release a lot of nude palettes. So yeah, I was really excited when they said they was going to be coming out of a green palette. This colour story is kind of not what I was expecting though. I kind of would have preferred it if it was a mixture between green and blue. So like we had a mixture of green and blue mattes. Because I just feel like the purples and the neutrals just don't fit very well with this colour story. I know obviously there's only so many green mattes that you can do, but why not incorporate some blue mattes in here, and then you can flip between whether you want to do a green look or a blue look or both. But why not do like a mixture between blue and green, because the colours go really well with each other, and I honestly thought that would have made such a beautiful palette. There also is quite a lot of shimmers in here. Again, seems to be a reoccurring theme with Revolution palettes. However, there are a decent amount of mattes in here. Like, I'm not mad at the ratio. There are definitely some shimmers I'd probably say replace them with mattes, but there isn't too many shimmers to the point where I can't really create that many looks with this palette. Apart from that, there was a little bit of fallout with the mattes and the shimmers, but to be honest, that's to be expected. Fallout doesn't really bother me as long as the colours are pigmented, and to be honest, that's really the only like negative things I can say, if you can take them in a negative way. I think the greens that I used today were actually really nicely pigmented. I feel like I created a really nice green look with it, and green is not a colour that I dabble into very often, but I think the greens in here are absolutely stunning. I think they did a good job at putting in like different tones of green in this palette. Could they have added a couple more? Definitely, but it is what it is, and I managed to create a nice green look out of it. So yeah, the shimmers are nice as well. I think the gold one was a little bit hardly pressed, but we still got there in the end with a nice shimmer on the lid. That green shimmer I used was absolutely stunning, and the inner corner and brow shade, absolutely beautiful. So overall, there are definitely a couple of things I'd change with this palette, but it is stunning nonetheless, and I think there is a nice decent amount of green mattes in here for you to create that beautiful like green monochrome look. And I do feel like neutrals do go with green. It's just maybe the purples in here that are a little bit odd to me, but that is just my personal opinion. The quality of this palette is really good, and I do recommend it if you love the colour story, especially obviously if you love your greens. I feel like you're going to love this. I know one of my patrons, Amy, is going to absolutely love this palette. And yeah, I think if you're looking for a new drugstore green eyeshadow palette, it's definitely one to check out. It's obviously not the most affordable green palette on the market, but I feel like you get a lot of variety with this as well. So those are my roundup thoughts and opinions on the new XXREVOLUTION X-ENVY palette. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below, what do you think of this eyeshadow palette, and are you going to pick it up? And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.